जे पते मुक्ति मिले, जे पते मुक्ति मिले, दाखिले कादिले गुरु ध्यान बोले, शुकिर पते से जे जाय कोले, जे पते मुक्ति मिले, व्याप्त चराचरा खंड मंडल, गुरु ध्यान तर सुशीतल, संपरे विपरे तारिया बाय परे, भक्ति पुष्पांजलि ध्याओ ढेले, जे पते मुक्ति मिले, जे पते मुक्ति मिले, जीवे दुर दिने दुरंत अरहरे, गुरु बिना बल के भवे निष्ठरे, भीषमा दुष्टरे आतिश बिष्टरे, ज्ञानेरालोतिनि ध्यान ज्वले, जे पते मुक्ति मिले, जे पते मुक्ति मिले. Om. The path of liberation can only be pointed out to the Guru, the one who knows it, the one who has walked it. Only him can lead you. It's so logical, right? That you can't ask someone to lead you and take you to a destination if they don't know the path either. In previous times, that when we want to travel, you'll have to break out the map. If we want to go with a car, a map, a big map, and then you follow it and you make notes of where you're going to go and you keep it handy. And then very often you have to be looking at it, making sure that you're on the right path. But with advanced technology, we have the GPS system and it takes us there. In the same way too, that in olden times, that we rely on the scriptures. Because our Hindu system, the source of knowledge is coming from, in the beginning, the original saints, original creation, man creation, God taking the form of a human being. They would have been sitting there quietly in meditation. They were pure souls and they were in tune with silence. That's the way they were. And then that knowledge was transmitted. And we call that the Vedas. And they kept it in themselves. But after some time, they had to transfer it from their minds, from their memory, into the scriptures. So this is the Sruti and Smriti. What was heard and what was remembered is now documented. And that becomes the Vedas and the Upanishads for us in Hindus. And then, what happened? The allegorical stories came into play. And there the Puranas came into. They're so powerful stories like the Vishnu Puran, that the churning of the ocean and Pralaya Payodi Jalidritavan Sivedam Vihitavahitra Charitra Makedam Keshavadrita Mina Sharira Jai Jagadish Hare Shitiriha Vipula Tavatishtate Prishti Dharani Dharana Kina Chakra Gorishti Keshavadrita Kurma Sharira Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare. Vishnu Bhagwan, he's the sustainer. Brahma is the creator. And Lord Shiva is the creator. Maintain the balance between good and bad by him, because he does it through his meditation and through his Shakti coming out as Mother Durga. And so the third thing here in our scriptures, first is the Vedas, Upanishads, and then the Puranas. And then we have the Itihasas, the history of our religion. And the two main ones, credible ones, that are Ramayana and Bhagavad Gita, because they're all coming from a credible spiritual source. They're coming Bhagwan Sri Ram in the Ramayana, and Bhagavan Krishna in the BHARAT. So this is the source of our knowledge. And then we come to the current day spiritual masters. And why the current day spiritual? So much of them, for us at the Bharat SEVASHRAM, Swami Parameshananda ji is that spiritual master. Why? Because they come as prophet of the age. Swami from Guru Maharaj came prophet of the age, and he would understand what is the requirement, and he worked it through the reformation of society, reform all of us, and we are so blessed. I know that this God that I'm talking about, Swami Parameshananda ji, he doesn't stay in the murti. He communicates that so many ways. You know, God, when we pray to them, he communicates. And Swami Parameshananda ji, God, we talk about Guru at this time. And we have to be very careful that we cannot call Swami Parameshananda ji Guru alone. He's God. But when he takes that form, then we can say he's Guru. And I have the experience of here, he transitioned me from that human form into the without name and form. I can remember in the Delhi ashram, we are there for the annual function, and I always had the blessings of being under the guidance and protection of Swami Buddhananda ji. And you know, he was like a father and mother. You know, to create disciples, he would have created so many disciples. When you want to create a disciple, a Swamiji wants to create a disciple, he has to be like a father and mother. Swami Buddha knows that. So anyway, he always asks me to speak, and he will make sure that I'm ready, because he'll guide me all the way silently, and I'm ready to speak on Delhi ashram. There were thousands of people there, and monks from Bharat SEVASHRAM, 100 or so, and from other sampradaya. And I'm speaking of Swami Parameshananda ji as the Lord, our Guru, our spiritual master without name and form. And so it was a lengthy talk, and it was well received. And then Swamiji would have said, you did so good, you know, silently, you'll do the Guru Arti. Wow, this is so beautiful that, you know, me selecting a junior monk, going above so many senior Swamijis and realized souls, I'm getting to do the Arti. And Delhi Ashrams has a very beautiful image of Swami Parameshananda ji. And while I was doing the Arti with the various items, surrendering my body, mind, intellect, and ego, 5 elements, earth, water, fire, air, and space is my body, like we sing here. This is the beautiful mandir of ours that has no walls and no ceilings. How appropriate with the story. So I'm surrendering my body through the 5 elements, and the 5 senses that are being fed by the 5 elements, seeing, hearing, touching, smelling, and tasting, is my mind. And here we are, our mind is receiving information from the outside through these 5 senses, and the 5 elements are corresponding. So then I'm doing it, and I'm saying, okay, you surrender the body, mind, intellect. The intellect is the power of discrimination, not to react, but to respond after deliberation. So I'm looking at the murtis and murti is surrendering myself. Ego has been crushed a long time. And I'm thinking, for some reason, maybe it's Swami Parameshananda ji, he's reminding me that the body would go bad. And I was thinking of his body went towards his hand, his body would have gone so bad. The doctor would have told him, Guruji, you can't go any further. There was 100,000 crowd waiting for him. But when the doctor said, no, I cannot give you any more medication, then he said, okay, because he knew that was truth. And then he would have returned to Kolkata, and 5 days after he gave up his body. And so this experience that I'm talking about, that the Guru takes the form, but when Swami Parameshananda would have been in the body, he was omnipotent, omnipresent, omniscient. He was all of the universe as power, divine power, and all pervading, the same thing. And then he knows the past and present, because the creation Time and space is only applicable to creation. But when you go beyond creation, then there's no such thing as time and space. And imagine the proportion of creation to consciousness is like a little canoe in the vast Atlantic Ocean. That what we are seeing here as creation is so minute in comparison to the whole, what God is all about, what consciousness is all about. That to give you an idea how limited we are in our thinking. Anyway, so I'm doing the arti, and then I'm thinking of his bad body, and then he would have come in the night. I was dreaming, and he says, "Oh, you speak of me in your discourse, that how I'm the all-pervading, all-powerful, all-knowing. But yet you think of me, limit me to my body. Why are you doing this?" And he says, and he was telling me, from now on, you have risen to the point where you know me as the Lord without name and form, the Creator, from the Creator, meaning that He is the efficient cause and the material cause. All that was created is the material cause, and what is giving it our life is the efficient cause. So he would have identified himself as such. So this is how we should look at Guru Purnima. That this time, let us lift ourselves up to the level where we can worship God without name and form. Our Swami Parameshananda is of that caliber. Krishna Bhagwan is that caliber. And Veda Vyas would have really rearranged all the scriptures. And he's the greatest guru. Why? Because he made it simple for us to understand this whole philosophy of creation. This morning is a beautiful morning here in Jamaica, Queens, New York. And prepare yourself for the full moon that is coming. Check the Google and find out where it is, what day it is. Many in America are celebrating it. Some are celebrating on the 23rd is Friday, and some are 24th and Saturday. It doesn't matter. Sometimes these little controversies, we should just put it to the side and not make it a big issue. So for now, I bid you a beautiful day, and let us all contemplate the Guru. Guru Mata Pita, Guru Bandhu Sakha, Tere Charano Me Guru, Mera Koti Pranam. Tere Charano Me Guru, Mera Koti Pranam. Tumi Jnana Data, Tumi Shakti Data, Tumi Shanti Data, Tumi Mukti Data. Tere Charano Me Guru, Mera Koti Pranam. Tere Charano Me Guru, Mera Koti Pranam. Let us honor Guru in the form of his creation. Here we have the sun. Let us surrender to God in the form of sun. Om Bhurabhuva Swaha Tatsavitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Om Bhurabhuva Swaha Tatsavitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Om Bhurabhuva Swaha Tatsavitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Why don't we take a moment of silence and listen to nature, listen to silence. Chant Guru Mantra for a couple minutes. Hari Om, Shanti, Shanti, Hari Om. Bola Sisi Guru Maharaj ki Jai. Continue to prepare for Guru Purnima. Okay.